guys, and warm welcome back to the channel. My name is Grace if you're new here, and this is the Rusty Thicket. So if you guys watched a while back, I made these really nice big boxes for my display cases at all of my large events. They hold everything that I need except for some holiday items that I'll have like rotating displays for, like ornaments and things like that. But today I really wanted to kind of test out this idea I had for small pop-up events, because I'm hoping in the future I'll have more of these. But on June 1st, I have my first gift corner event, which is usually on a much smaller scale. There's quite a few of us that have signed up. I think it's like 3 or 6, and it's a small area, so that's a lot for a small area. And I just didn't want to overwhelm my table with such a large display, and then I could only really bring one ideally anyway. So I kind of thought maybe it would be fun to turn this thing that I've been hanging on to for ages and turn it into some kind of display item that's much smaller. So I've already kind of pre-done some stuff, but I just want to show you guys. This is one of those like art boxes that you get, you know, Michael's, Hobby Lobby, even Walmart has them, especially around like the holidays, where they come in a case. Usually it's not quite as nice as this. I mean, this is still some kind of composite wood. It's not real wood, which is why we're not sanding it down, because I was afraid of what was underneath it. But because typically this like cherry color isn't really my look. I like pine and warm colors, not quite this warm though. So we're going to, it's got like a nice handle. It's got, you know, the clips and stuff, and everything like this is metal. So I thought it would be a really nice piece that we could maybe try and turn into something I could use for my pop-up shops. So when you open it up, it lays flat, which I really like. And then these come up and out like this. So you've got space here on the center parts and then up here on both sides, and it's pretty roomy. I feel like for the majority of the stuff that I have, this is definitely too small, but when I'm doing the smaller, tinier pop-ups, I really think I could maximize the space in here and make it look really visually interesting and have people maybe even ask questions as like a conversation starter. And plus, I just love a good project. And if you're on the channel for a while now, you know that I get really bored of doing the paintings as much as I love them. I need to break stuff up, and I really like making things with my hands. So today I went ahead and pre-cut a few pieces of things because I have this idea where, let's move this one to the side, where for like one of the sides, or maybe even both depending on how I feel, I cut some pieces that I thought would help me maximize the area that I do have. So we're going to put these in here to hold my crow confetti. I really like having them on a display that's a little bit more up instead of completely vertical, but not laying flat down either, because they're easier to see that way, especially because I like to color coordinate some of those. And then this piece, I think I'm going to do it on both, but I haven't decided yet. I did go ahead and glue down a metal piece to a board that I found. These just happen to be the same sizes, so I didn't have to do any cutting. And then I'm going to prop this up in here and use this as my magnetic board. And that's what I'll put my magnets and some other things that I'm going to hang on, so that I can use a full piece of, you know, real estate. But then it'll just kind of come out, and I can store it in the larger section below and still have plenty of room to put these down and then fold it up, so we don't have to, you know, do any kind of hinges or anything like that. And I've still, like, I've maximized my real estate for other items. I also brought a second pegboard that I'm thinking about putting on this other side over here, and that should allow me to hang some things and some stuff like that, because I do have some magnetic hooks that I could use to hang off of this as well. And I think where these are taller pieces, than this bottom section down here. It'll definitely hold more weight up against it. And then my other idea is I'm gonna paint these edges because they're unfinished. When I took the plastic pieces out that like held all the markers and stuff, there was a lot of like gunk and things under here, and obviously the plastic went all the way up to the edges, so you didn't see this kind of unfinished piece below. So I think I'm gonna paint the edges, and then I bought some felt. I just wanted like a really plain basic color so it wouldn't clash with any of my items. And I think it's gonna be really easy to see my stuff against this. So that'll be really nice. And then it will line it to where it just looks better. But then also I won't have to paint or stain everything. And I should be able to get this to, you know, look a little, we don't want it to be perfect because that's kind of not my style, but we do want it to look nice and presentable. So I think I can fold this over and drape it through and kind of make it look like a jewelry box in some ways. So that way everything just like looks, you know, tidy and presentable. And then I can just fold it up and take it at the end of the day, and it'll fit on a little 4x2, I think that is, the little 4-foot tables that I have already. And just, you know, not be a huge cumbersome piece inside a very small venue. So this would also come in handy when I'm doing smaller pop-ups when we move from here. And I just thought it would be a fun project. So let's see how it ends up, and I'll kind of walk you through my steps and stuff as we are going. All right, so the minimalist in me told me to paint it black, but the Rusty Thicket told me to paint it green. And since that is the name of this game, we are going to paint the edges green. Now, inside of here is going to be a lot more difficult because I have these arms that are holding up the second layer, and I'm going to probably have to, you know, move those around to do it, but we're going to start with the top portion up here. I really like this green. If anybody is interested, it is called Avocado. I am going to leave the little grabby things here. I wanted to make them much nicer, but I'll be honest, I just don't have anything that I liked that was worth the trouble of going through. If I had found like little mushroom ribbon or something, that would have been ideal, but we didn't, so that's okay. And I'm really just going to paint the sides, not caring too much about whether or not I get them on the bottom portion down here, but trying to stay away from this edge because I don't want to have to paint it also. I did go ahead and wipe the whole thing down. It was pretty grimy. Obviously, it was a kid's at some point. So while this is drying, just to see if I need to do a second coat really quick, I'm also going to put these metal brackets around the edges. If you watched my other video, I had a bunch of these left over, and I was really hoping I'd find something to use them for, and I think this is the perfect project. Again, I do wish this was kind of more my warm wood look, but honestly, it's gonna be great, so I'm not really worried. I thrifted this for $12, which is a little high in my opinion for what it was, but thrifting is just a lot different here. The prices are a bit more extreme, but the quality of stuff is usually much different than, you know, the thrifting you might do back in the States. Plus, I mean, you know, everything's on the rise these days. Still, it's cheaper than if I just bought a whole art kit and then wasted all of the cheap art supplies just for the box anyway. And the supplies that this came with were, you know, broken, dried out, and all that stuff, so I didn't feel so bad about tossing most of it, although I did keep some of the tubes of paint because you just never know. And here she is, folks. So this is obviously a voiceover. I just wanted to get some really great footage of how it will be when I set it up at my next event. I'll definitely do a video while I'm at the actual event so you can see if I make any changes, but this is pretty much it. I love that it can pack down. I like how small it is. I really appreciate the amount of stuff I can really put on it, and this is being, in my opinion, somewhat conservative. I could really load it down if I wanted to and use the spaces up underneath there to hold other pieces as I need. So yeah, I'm really happy. I would love to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Have you made anything like this, or are you inspired to do something similar? It's just a little art box for $12, so I really encourage you guys to see what you can come up with. Yeah, so I'll see you next week. Bye, guys!